Hello friends, and welcome to another budget planning video. Now as you can see, I've got a bunch of stuff on my desk, and our aim today is to personalize our $3 Kmart week to view planner. So I've got a few things that I've prepared, and I thought I'd go through with you the process that I would go through to do this as cheaply as possible, because really when you spend $3 on a planner, you don't then want to spend, $100 fixing it up. So a few things that you might be able to see. I've got some washi tape here. These tubes, they're not in the right order by any means because I've used them already. These massive tubes of washi are available in, I think it's brights and pastels, for about $6 each at Kmart. Now that's a huge amount of washi. And they're all lovely colours, and they're all, just straight up colours, so you don't have to worry about mixing patterns and whatnot. They also had a bunch of, I think there's about 6 or 7 in the small ones. I've just picked these ones out for today, and they're about, I want to say $2, but they might be $4. And they had, this is actually a 4-pack, but I'm only using these 3 colours, for $4, and they're foil and they're beautiful. And there is actually a washi pack that has this and about 4 or 5 other different shape and patterned washis with this hollow, beautiful hollow tape, and I think that one was $4. It could be $6, but and it had a thin silver glitter one as well, which is quite lovely. So they're just a few things that I've got. I've done some printouts which we'll be using today. Other things I have is some plain old contact. I have this for when I cover my kids' school books at the beginning of the year, so that's usually hanging around. I've got these great little index cards from Daiso. I use these for a myriad of things, and we're going to be making bookmarks with these for our planner. And I've just got other bits and pieces in here that I've either found around the house or I've picked up from Daiso or Officeworks or Kmart. Just random, there's some more of those, random little labels and stickers and little clear pockets. I think I got these ones from, I want to say Daiso, but it could have just been like a hot dollar or something. And when I find something for a couple of bucks, I'll usually, if I think it's going to be useful, I'll pick it up and I'll stick it in an envelope, and that goes in with all of my other supplies as well. Our little Daiso ruler. I've got a couple of pens. I'm going to be doing a whole video on pens and how to work them in. Budget conscious. But actually pens is the one thing that I tend not to go super cheap, because I like a good quality pen. Instead of a craft knife, I've got this little ceramic beauty that I picked up at Officeworks for $1, which was awesome. I've got a few of those because they were $1 each. And just some stuff I printed out. I've got some graph paper and a beautiful pattern sheet and some of the month to view calendars, which I just did up in, I think I did these up in Excel. So let's get started. So what we have here is our $3 Kmart book. Now, if you remember, the actual book itself is plain. It's just a plain bound book. The magic cap, and then just remove the piece of paper from the cover. Now, if you like this cover, by all means keep it. No one's saying you can't. And we've just got a little A5 slip cover there. So that's my cover. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that my A4 printout fits. Now, as you can see, it does fit, but it's not wide enough. So there would actually be gaps at the end. So that's okay, we can fix that. Now, if you don't have a printer at home, that's okay. You don't have to worry about that. You can get full color A4 prints from Officeworks for about 70 cents a sheet. And the black and white ones, I think, are like 8 or 10 cents a sheet for A4. But with these ones, you'd get them printed 2 up and then just cut them in half. So if you don't have a printer, don't stress. Okay, so what I need to do here is I need to extend the end of my pages, not by much, only looks like about 4 mil either side, but that's what I have the washi tape for. I was going to edge this in washi tape anyway, because you can't get a full edge to print on an A4 in an A4 printer. So I've got my tiny little cutting craft mat. Baking paper works just as well. The only thing you want to try and do is prevent the washi from sticking to whatever's underneath it. Now, the thing is with laser printed graphics is that it's thermofused as opposed to inkjet, which actually soaks into the paper. So if I fold this, it will crack. So that's why I have the contact. I'm going to contact the outside layer so that when I fold it, it's a bit more protected. Lovely cover. Now we just have to hope that it fits in the sleeve. So we have our cover. So I'm just going to slip this back in. It'll be a snugger fit because this is a lot thicker than that. Now, of course, you can also use wrapping paper, old calendar pictures. You can make yourself a little collage. Again, your own artwork if you are artistically inclined. I just happened to find this image on Google and kind of loved it, so I printed it off. So once that's in, give it a good fold and roll, and that will all settle in. So there we go. So we've gone from that to that, and this is a lot more my style. So that's stage one. Now also, if you wanted to put your name or the year, you could absolutely do that and sort of slip it in. Throw in some photos if you want some photos in there. Go wild, go crazy, do what you like. You can, of course, also recover these. I don't mind the little crosses. I think they're all right. But again, this is where you stick stuff and, you know, whatever. Now, if you remember, my biggest gripe with this planner is that it did not have a month to view in it, which I use all the time. This is where I note down when my bills are due. This is where I note down, you know, special school days, so that I can just look at it and know what my month is going to hold. So the question is where would you put these? Do you put them in all at once? Do you put them in one spot? The answer is that's up to you. Now I see at the front here I've got some note pages? Had some note pages? Nope, no note pages. I do use this one as well, but this is more of a big overview. This one's far more detailed. You know what? I think I'm going to put them in that way. The side of the page. Whenever the first grid on the back, look what I did there. On the first thing of the month, so I've got the, okay, so I am going to cut it down a little bit because A5 on A5 is not ever going to fit in completely correctly. So I'm just going to take a sliver. So that looks like it will fit in there really quite nicely. This is also a good way to define your months. So what I'm going to do, so I want it coming out with the top away from me, so it's easier to see. Because if I have it that way, it's kind of, so I want it, yeah. Oops. I want it coming that way. So what I'm going to do is on, oh, there's the notes page. You've been looking for you. Right, so on this side, okay, this is where I'm going to use my washi tape. And, you know, pick colours that you like, colours that may remind you of that specific month. It doesn't matter, really. Now I'm only going to put this on part of this. And then I'm going to butt this up against this, if I can see it. I might take the book out for this. Put it back in later. You don't want them exactly edge to edge because you're going to need a little bit of flip room. I do, however, want to get it somewhat even and centered. So I'm going to do that on both sides. You don't have to use the same colour washi tape. However, you do need to see the dates. There we go. So now, when you close your planner, you'll see that January is green. I'm just going to pop the rest of these in and come back with a somewhat finished product. I only printed out 4 months because I really just wanted to get a start on it. But you can see there quite clearly that each month has a different colour. So it does actually make it quite easy to find. Now obviously on these fold-out bits you can put whatever you like, a big to-do list for the month, fancy headers, go for broke. Okay, so that's, it also is just like a little way of bringing some colour into your planner on the inside without, you know, going all out. Now a couple of other things that you can do if you don't want to do that is if you have the little tabs, you can actually set up the tabs on your planner, either on the top or on the side, however you like, with each month if that makes it easier for you. Personally, I'm happy with the colours, and I will probably just leave it at that. Okay, let's make a quick little bookmark, because if you don't like the ribbon and you want to cut it off, that's fine. So, this is where I'm going to use my index cards. Obviously, you can use whatever you like. I'm just going to use some washi tape and a paper clip, super cheap Woolies paper clips. I think I got these ones from Kmart or Officeworks, I don't remember, but they're only a couple of bags, a couple of bucks for the thing. So I'm just going to take a paper clip and it'll go on the back. So I'm just going to decorate the front, make it stand out. I love this foil tape. This foil tape is just beautiful. Doesn't have to be anything marvellous or spectacular or super special. Just has to stand out, really. But this will literally sit in the top of whatever week you're in. Quite easily. Obviously I've made that quite excessive, but simple page marker. It does not have to be any more complicated than that. You can of course get super complicated. Watch my other video on how to make bookmarks, and that gets a little more fancy, or even just use a paper clip and stick a bit of ribbon on the top. That's a page marker right there. Nice and simple, and less likely to fall off. So, as far as personalisation goes for a bound planner, go nuts, experiment, do whatever you want. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope I've given you some inspiration on prettying up a rather dull, cheap planner for not a lot of money. Make it your own and have a fun time planning. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.